Yo!
Well.
Buddy!
Well.
It is my favorite
water
Nerevar.
in a well.
Nerevar, come.
Nerevar.
Play Dungeons and Dragons. Nerevar. We are back with Shadows over Velda. This is episode 32 of Shadows over Velda. With our fantastic players, Leju, Grizz, Juzo, Ben, and Scylla. We are all here having a great time. It's been a minute. We took a couple weeks off just because I had some conventions to go to, as well as we all had other things in life that kind of got in the way. But we're back.
So true.
And when we last left everybody, it was pretty intense. Now, for the sake of brevity, because I checked my clock and it is about 11 o'clock where I am. We were a little late. Apologies. We had some technical difficulties we had to power through. But
yeah,
because of that, we are going to skip the icebreaker question that we normally do for each of our players. I swear to God, we'll get back to a normal stream time and schedule and everything soon enough. But it is con season and everything's slightly bumpy. So we're gonna skip the icebreaker question and we're gonna just kind of dive right into where we were, which kind of makes sense because we did break off at a pretty crazy time in our last session. And last session, where does anybody want to take where we left off? Does anybody want to start? Because it's actually quite important to know where all the pieces are, and what we were doing. Because you guys, through some narrative discovery, found Marky. He had evolved into a colossal construct. You're not sure exactly what he is, but a mechanized construct. And due to several rules that were bent, if not shattered directly, of the parlay that we had orchestrated with Nine Flame the Glorious, who is the High General of Asmodeus, the Ninth Circle of Hell. He had come to parlay, come to ask a deal. But little did she know, that deal was never going to happen. No matter all the powers, all of the creatures, all of the gifts and boons that hell could give the material plane, it did not matter when Ray was asked to sacrifice his whip, the hardest no. And after that, the combat began, and Nine Flame drew her sword. Said some fiendish words in order to ignite it, and began the assault on Marky, who she deemed to be the champion that you guys had decided to fight in your stead. Little did she know, you guys had really no clue what was going on with that thing. Does anybody want to take it from here? What the fight started? What happened? Because it's quite important to know where the pieces are here on this map. What's going on? Who is where? We had some really cool stuff happen. Who wants to take it?
She nearly fucking killed me.
Yeah, she did almost.
Yeah.
Ray.
He threw me across
Not
the
one
room
shot,
like
it was
a
like-
fucking puppet.
Like
I got ragdolled. It sucked.
Yeah.
But
She
we're here.
laid all her attacks on you in one turn, and
Which
did,
is good. That's what I'm here for.
yeah,
That's a bunch of attacks that weren't on anyone else.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
true.
Except for
Paladin.
me and Marky.
Kind of your no. Marky took the brunt of a lot of this stuff. He was kind of the meat shield for a lot, and he got ripped to shreds. But he noble sacrifice for a short-lived friend. He did a number on her too. Literally hundreds of damage. But yeah, she grabbed Ray at a certain point with her tail, laid into him, because her ultimate goal in this fight was to make sure that trapping of Lolth, that whip, was in her possession by the end. And she almost got it, but what happened? What prevented that from happening?
My fucking squad. Dude, Peak Beak was
Peak
throwing Peak Beak was throwing like some cleric goddess of death shit where it like marked, I forget what it was called exactly, but kept marking her for death, which like doubled her
Path
damage
to the
or
grave,
something.
I believe.
Yeah, Path to the Grave.
Path to the
Yeah,
grave.
that
I'll have you
dude,
know
oh my
that was
God.
playing in my head like several times throughout the past few weeks, and every time I thought of it, I'm just like, dude, that was fucking cool. Where you just you covered her in this holy flash paper, and then the damage from Ray just kind of ignited it and did a ridiculous amount of radiant damage, just like lighting her aflame, or radiant damage skin to look really crazy dark and mysterious, but it still hurt her significant amount in combination with Ray's smite, which did you crit, right?
I don't actually think I did crit, unfortunately. That
There
would've
was
been
no
sick, though.
crit smite, but there was a
Path
crit
to the
regular
grave
attack.
smite.
Yeah,
Actually,
you
it's
guys,
yeah,
so
we did
good of
get
a
one crit,
so
I
good
think, at one
combo.
point.
yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, there was
True.
one crit somewhere. It was fantastic because you did an incredible amount of damage to her in one turn. She was a fiend. You did significantly more radiant damage as well between you and Beak. You guys were really the MVPs of doing damage outside of
I
Marky in
think
this
Sunder
fight.
crit, actually.
Sunder did
Might
crit
have
with the
been,
push.
might have
Yeah, you're right.
Let me scroll back up.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
out of
no,
the
Sunder
history.
did crit.
Yeah, I
Alternate
kept Nine Flame on the ground.
Yeah,
trying to get off my
yeah.
depth from there.
She was grinning through it, but still, like, as you guys were ants to her.
Everyone
and she
was
was
pulling their
really.
weight except for Alondra.
Alondra missed every single shot. How do you know? Every single shot she missed. She was using her bow, which she's less proficient in than her longsword, but she wanted to try and keep a distance. But
Damn it, I was trying my best. Pulling the
yeah,
stat block up again.
it's okay. It's okay. Moving forward, you know that just for the sake of the chat and anybody listening, Ray now has a follower in Alondra, and for combat, Ray will be using Alondra as a I don't want to say pet because that's a little bit diminutive, but as an additional turn in the turn order.
As a minion.
Companion.
Good girl.
A minion, a companion, yeah. Exactly.
Damn.
But Nine Flame looked at the party and pretty much anybody in here as an ant. The only reason that she was the least bit cordial with you guys was the rules of hell, the laws of hell that govern every circle. And
Just
she
4
was
ants
being
and a lawyer.
4 ants and a lawyer. She was being cordial, but once the gloves were off, she decided, okay, it's time to crack some skulls. But after the fight progressed, a few hits from Marky. She got pinned to the ground. Marky pinned her to the ground. There was a cloud of darkness as well, which kind of led a lot of people to be a little bit confused as to what was going on inside this cloud. And then once it dispersed, you realized that she had kind of torn Marky to shreds mechanically. Krillin tried to come in and do some damage, taking care of the Draza, Field Marshal Draza, the Skin Devil, who had been is still up. Just so you guys are aware, is still conscious and alive. You did do a number on him, but
he was rushing towards the portal, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. He's running towards the still open portal that is to an ashen, barren landscape that is being bombarded by meteors and flying beasts, and it's still kind of like a desert almost, but it looks like it's perpetually sunset through that portal there. Nine Flame, as you guys, Argentum did a one of their narrative twists, right? The little bookmark.
Yeah, it was a writ bookmark. Oh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a writ bookmark, essentially, so then I could try to move forward and then teleport back as a reaction. Should she try to swing at me, I would be able to teleport out. So that is still up.
Yes, it is. We had Sunder had a bit of a tete-a-tete with Nine Flame as well. Being a tiefling, Nine Flame noticed this and began spouting all sorts of vitriol at this black blood, this lesser demon, and this was the point where we discovered. You want to talk a little bit about it, Juzo? What happened?
Well,
Jozu.
it also Jozu, fucking wild. But no, a lot of the stuff that we did in last session ramped up to show off that Sunder is multi-classing now. Yeah. He allowed his rage to consume him again, but this time it wasn't in a manner of harming the ones he cares about.
It was controlled.
More so to
meter.
Yeah, it was controlled now. So that is definitely going to happen again if he's able to control
and correct
it
me
now.
if I'm wrong, but was it you that cracked her horn off?
Yes,
Mhm,
I believe so.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, you broke her
Mhm.
horn, the horn of a pit fiend of one of the high generals of hell. That was fucking sick.
Insane.
Okay, so as we start to bring ourselves back, let's put the NPCs where they are. Krillin is currently engaged with Skin Devil Draza. Nine Flame is incorporeal, is no more. Varric Tin Whistle has just entered the court with 3 Riders of Koth, and they are currently on the far end of the Great Hall that you guys are fighting in. Elandra is exactly where she is right now. She is currently under Ray's control. Let me see if there's anybody else on screen that I need to figure out what exactly they're doing. I think that's it. Yeah, okay, cool. And as we get back into it, we left with the floor rumbling, the flagstones immediately underneath Nine Flames' bleeding corpse beginning to lift from the ground and shake and flutter, as it were, before directly underneath where her heart would be, they begin to break away. And you hear like geysers of gas and heat come from her. Her arm begins to fall into a crevice. Then her chest and torso begins to fall down as this light fills the room, and the outside, the light from the sun begins to darken, and the only light that spills into where you currently are comes from this black, red, subtle glow from underneath of her. Begins to cave in more. Her entire body falls into this hole that slowly opens up over the next 2 or 3 seconds around you guys. The flagstones fall in, the pillars around you begin to fall and break in on one another. One falls across Nine Flames' still glowing armor, breaking it in half as before you, Sunder, you see, and Ray, to your right, you see Marky's body start to tumble into this hole that is opened underneath of you. And almost impossibly, underneath of Ipswich's castle, magically, there is, almost like you guys are looking down from a ceiling thousands of feet above you, or below you. You see what can only be described as a traditional depiction of hell. You get a good look over the edge. Can I have Sunder and Ray, can you roll me perception checks?
Sure can, DM. With my 0 perception and my blind eyes, 4.
You know
Even
that track.
Checks out.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
God wants me to perceive. I'll let you take it away, Sunder.
Okay. You feel a strange heat coming from you in this normally like northern kind of like Arctic environment. You've been kind of girded to the cold, but you feel this wet heat coming from this crevasse next to you guys. Sunder, you look in and you see a black landscape. You see a hazy red sky. You see every now and again these black shadows dotting over this crevice right underneath of you. And you also see Nine Flames' body falling and dissolving into liquid as it careens down heaven knows where. More of this floor begins to fall. And we are technically still in initiative. That was Nine Flames' turn. She is gone. Her body is no more. It has been sucked into this hole. I am unfortunately, as is Marky. Marky is also gone from the floor. He has fallen into the hole as well, or at least what remains of Marky.
No!
I am going to need everybody
Robot!
near the who is within 20 foot radius of that hole to make a dexterity check. Or sorry, a dexterity saving throw.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
good.
Fuck.
Gotcha.
I'm
that
good.
means-
I'm
wait,
exactly
wait.
30 feet away.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold
that
on.
is Ray, that is Krillin,
That's
that is
Tintin.
Sunder, and I think that's Phoenix.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
I would. It's within 20 feet or
20
Or
foot
30
foot
feet.
radius. A 20 foot. I think you're safe, Gentum.
I'm just outside it, baby. Thank God.
Okay, Krillin gets a +4 to
Okay,
save.
+4. Awesome. I'm gonna roll that on the table. Just because I'm curious about what happens too. So he's dexterity save 4, 5, 6. Okay.
He's still a +4, right? Let me check.
Oh fuck. So let's see.
I do
Juzo, you got a
dex
14?
save.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, a dex save.
22.
22.
17.
17. Okay. So, Ray, you see this. You see the whole the floor begin to gape. You feel the heat. Yeah, I mean, you have this celestial sense about you, and you know that this not even a portal. This just like rip in time and space next to you. Something that is even above any sort of magic. This is just a law of nature appearing next to you, and you're able to kind of get out of the way, jump to the side behind this pillar, put your back up to it, and narrowly avoid the edge of this crevasse. And it almost like this preternatural disposition for you to just kind of get out of the way.
Okay. Should I move my token at all?
Yeah, just move it back the 20-foot radius. So just next to Argentum.
Oh, okay. Whoop.
And let's do this. Okay. Krillin is preoccupied with Draza, almost in this moonlit frenzy. He finds himself with his long sword that is slightly beginning to glow, and he poises himself to deal the finishing blow here. His turn is immediately after yours, Ray. He poises himself to finally plunge his silvered sword directly into the heart of this devil, and his footing falters. His eyes flutter from this white rage to lucidity once more. And before he is able to even get a grip on his sword or find out what is happening to him, he falls backwards into this crevice to hell.
No! Fuck!
Oh
my God!
Did anyone, like, the reaction dive to catch him or something? Or
You can try, yes. Can you, I mean,
Yeah.
who is
think
closest
it'd
to
be-
him right now? Is
I
it
think
Sunder?
It'd probably be me.
Sunder, yes.
Well, we'll get
I
to
have
you
a-
in just a second.
I have a 10-foot
Okay.
reach, but
Ray,
I did just jump
you were the
back.
closest. You were the closest. I will give you and you alone the opportunity to save Krillin.
Okay, what do I need to
only-
roll?
All right. So you got a 22 for your dex save.
Yeah, well, 26.
Can you roll me 26? Okay. Can you roll me a let's see. Can you roll me a sleight of hand check with advantage because you got a 26 on your dex save to try and
Okay.
get Krillin? How do you do this?
I'll try and... I'm obviously going to grip my whip as hard as I can, so that
Sure.
way I don't let go of it. I'm going to try and use, like, the momentum from the whip to catch him and then run, like, as I jump back with him, pulling him that
Okay.
way.
All right.
Yeah.
Make a sleight of hand check with advantage.
Okay, here we go. Come on, buddy. Doop, 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 doop. 23.
Ooh, okay. With the 23,
What if that was a
you-
5? There's a 5. Yeah, 19. It's the highest I can roll besides a nat 20.
that's
23 plus
incredible. So you notice that this what is happening. This devil is being pulled back to hell once their job on the material plane has been completed in one way or another, and your whip, you grab it with all of your strength, all of knowing what has happened, knowing that the pit fiend has come with the intention of taking it from you, but almost as though it had a mind of its own. It unspools itself, and your grip is just there, ready to hold it steady. You feel it tighten, and you hear as these rocks behind you and in front of you start to pull away, but you stand fast. You bury your heels in the stones below, and you are holding Krillin by your whip as he dangles thousands of feet above the surface of the first circle of hell.
Jesus.
That is where you are right now. That's what's happening.
Fuck.
That is your reaction. And you've kind of like put yourself up against this pillar, this small patch of sturdy stone that you find yourself on, but you hear the creak of the the leather as you pull it back, and Krillin knows what's happening. So it is now his turn. But before we get there, we gotta sort out everybody else. Okay. So Sunder, you see Nine Flame and her head. This sickening, toothy, sharp grin that bleeds this Icarus fluid from you cracking her skull in. Her half horn is kind of pumping this gross liquid from it. Her eyes, golden, once lit, now dull, staring at you, almost as though she still sees you there, is still processing information from here. But you see her head fall thousands of feet, and you stand there, shook, still full of rage, shaking and frothing yourself. And it took too long for you to figure out what was happening. And the ground below you falls away. You see your friends fall up as you careen down to the first circle of hell. Phoenix.
Shut the hell up, dude.
Yeah.
No way.
Phoenix, you were the closest person to Sunder.
Yeah.
You see him slowly, almost as though it's a trick of the light or an illusion. You just can't really believe this happening. This small patch of stone in Ipswich's school that you've been in, hundreds of times, starts to move down. You know what's down there. The hole is wide enough to understand what is going on here. Do you try to help Sunder?
Do I try to help Sunder? Imagine me just be like, nah, see ya, buddy.
Honestly,
No,
Back home you go.
How much? What do I have here to work with?
He's almost 10 feet away from you. You see the small, like 5 foot, like octagonal piece of stone that he was on. His fist still bloodied with Nine Flames flesh and fluid. But he starts to. He doesn't fall himself. The part of rock that he is standing on is beginning to sink into the ground and the hellish vault below. What do you do?
Yeah, like, how, do I have like an action? Do I have like a?
You have a reaction
here.
How do you just tell me what you need to do for narrative's sake, and we'll make it work.
I have a reaction.
Correct.
You could shoot me. Just fucking knock my shit back.
you can move people with your Eldritch Blast. That is something you can do.
There wouldn't be a reaction, though, right? Like that's.
I'd say you can take at least like a 5 foot step in front of you, but that would be about it.
I don't know if he's
Like,
asking for you
five,
like mechanically.
And I can't cast like a spell.
I mean, you could reach out to him if you wanted to and try and grab his hand. You could like grab the scruff of his neck. You could try and shoot him if you wanted to. I mean, you don't really like mechanically. You just tell me what you want to do narratively, and we can make it. I can figure it out.
Mechanically, I'd like to cast a spell here.
Okay.
Is that
what
possible?
spell?
It depends on like how much time I have and if I.
I'd say you could do a bonus action or a reaction, but an action would be tough.
A bonus action spell. Do I get to move the 5 feet?
You can move 5 feet. You can move up to 5 feet.
All right, I'm going to move 5 feet. And just before he falls, I'm going to use Meta Magic Quicken spell to make my next spell a bonus action. And I will cast. We're level 7 now, guys. I'm going to cast on. I'm going to touch Sunder and like the dark flames, like kind of, transfer over to him and kind of go underneath his feet, and I will cast Fly.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
The gift of step.
Okay. You took a step forward. I'm gonna have you make a dexterity saving throw now too.
Cool. Sick.
Dumbass.
All good. What's... Okay, cool.
Whoa.
That's fine.
Don't you have like silvery barbs or whatever?
I have something I can do if you'll
Okay.
let me.
Yeah, I'll let you.
If you'll let me, I'm going to
Tell me what it
use
is first.
my reaction to cast that one spell that I asked if I could have when I fail to make a saving throw. Actually, wait, no, hold on. Yes, I can. I have magical guidance now.
Okay.
The sorcerer level 5 feet.
When you make an ability check that fails.
Oh, it's an ability check. It's only an ability check.
Okay. Yeah.
Never mind. It's only an ability check. That's fine. I could use you let me use the reaction here, since I used the bonus. I'm gonna use the spell. I'm gonna use Self Curse.
Oh,
Okay.
good spell. Good spell.
Ooh, okay.
It's this range of cell colon F, but
Okay.
Seth.
Seth.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah, that's really
Really
fucking spell.
good. What
Holy
the
shit.
fuck?
But in exchange, you take 1d6 points of irreducible damage multiplied by the difference between your failed save result and the DC it failed to beat. All right.
yeah. So I might
right.
make the check, but instantly die here.
Yeah. It's the DC.
I got
15.
you, gamer. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
The DC's 15.
Self
So I
curse.
imagine you take what? What is that? That's 11
50
times
so-
11d6 points of damage.
Yeah, 11d. It's 11 times 1d6.
11 times 1d6.
So if you
11
roll a
D6.
1, you'll
It's
just take 11
times
damage.
whatever you do.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. I'll roll one. I'll roll it on the table too. This seems applicable. So you'll take 11 times 3, so 33.
Cool. 33 damage. I'm still alive.
Hell yeah.
Goddamn.
Oh my god.
All right. You push. Technically, you let Sunder fly. He just kind of hovers where he is for the time being, and then you fall right out of range of the final amount. Like the structure that you guys are in is beginning to stabilize because of all this fallen detritus from not only the ground falling in, but like the ceiling coming down and stuff like that. You fall, and the last thing you see is Marky and Nine Flames' bodies falling down thousands and thousands of feet, careening past mountains and clouds and smog thickets and blazing forests and floating islands, and then your vision kind of fades as you fall. You don't fall unconscious, but as you fall to the ground, realizing that you made it out by the skin of your teeth. And Sunder,
Can I flavor this like I'm about to fall and I exert my body and my body cracks open halfway, the underneath the skin is the darkness, but it cracks open halfway across my body.
Sure. Of course, this is. I mean, it's evident to you, Sunder, that Phoenix has expended a tremendous amount of energy and of himself to get you out of harm's way. Okay, fantastic. You guys succeeded. Where the last party in this encounter failed horrendously. So, kudos. Next up is Krillin. He is going to make a strength check to try and pull himself up, which is not a terribly high DC, but this I want to roll all these, especially the NPC stuff on the table, just because I want to see what this goes to. So let's. Okay. That's a 10. Okay, that's enough. You see Krillin. His hand comes over the edge, and the waves of heat behind him, licking his back and hair. And his other hand comes up, and he pushes himself up onto the surface itself, 1 foot in front of the other, unwrapping the lasso around his waist. And then after gets it halfway done, it takes life of its own. and wraps back around Ray's waist itself.
Never used to do that.
Nods.
Never used to do that.
Krillin nods to you. Ray walks up to you and then puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Thank you."
Stay sharp. There's still work to do.
And he turns back over to Draza and uses his remaining movement to re-engage him once more.
Nice.
And it is Draza's turn. Okay. Let me see.
Draza Schmaza.
So
Still within 10
Draza...
feet.
Yeah, that's true. Draza looks over towards the portal and then looks towards the crevasse in the ground, which, upon his turn, slowly begins to fill over with earth. Not stone or masonry or anything, but it slowly begins to, like, scar over with earth. And he is going to use his movement and take an opportunity attack to jump into the hole itself as it closes up. Let me see. Let me find his sheet here. Gotta take an opportunity attack from Krillin.
Let me know if I get it.
You have reach, right?
I have 10 feet of reach.
Okay, sure. Yeah. You want to do the first opportunity attack while I find his sheet?
Yeah,
Go for
I sure
it.
do. Okay. Can't smite on those, right? Because not in the new rules. Not in the new rules. Okay, here we go.
Because it's a
Normal,
bonus
not
action
advantage. Wait, do we have advantage on this guy? I don't remember.
No.
Not in this situation.
No. Okay. That's a 15.
A 15? Let me see.
Yeah.
15 hits.
Okay,
Nice.
his speed reduces by 10 feet. Slow property of the whip.
Okay.
Oh,
My
get
mastery
dunked,
over
nerd.
it. Yeah, get dunked, idiot. Okay, here we go. That's gonna be 6 slashing damage.
Okay. He gets right there, and then Krillin himself gets an attack. You see.
We're on round 10? What round are we on?
Yeah, we're on round 8. Actually.
8? Okay, so
Yeah,
it hasn't
we're
been.
on-
Alright, then
It hasn't been a minute yet, no.
add 3 necrotic from my wings.
Add 3
so they
necrotic.
melt.
Oh, okay.
My necrotic
Okay.
shroud.
All right.
Fallen Asimar.
Ray, he looks at you after the attack and then slowly realizes that there is more damage to be had. And as he jumps away from Krillin, this welling in his heart begins to form this bulbous pustule around the like scar tissue on the left side of his sternum, where his sternum would be if he was human, and it begins to bulge this white light. How do you want to kill this guy?
What?
Yes!
With 9? Get his ass!
He was very low. He was very, very low.
He was very low.
Let's fucking
Phoenix
go,
Phoenix
dude.
lit his up. How do you want to kill
Fuck,
this guy?
dude. Let's see. Hold on. How do I? Definitely hit him with the whip for sure.
Okay.
Yo, can we circle this dude as a team? Can we have like a really cool? Can we have like a really cool fucking cinematic group explanation where we save all these people and then fucking off this dude together?
I'll say as you
Can
guys,
Alondra shoot a crossbow bolt and it actually does something?
Of course. So as he jumps away from Krillin, his initial attack misses, just for the sake of narrative and flavor and cool factor. His moon touch longsword cuts through nothing but air. He thinks he's gotten away before you wrap this whip around him and lash his chest once, and you pull the whip back, And again, he thinks he's gotten away, but this welling of radiant energy within his chest begins to become too much. You hear a cracking. You hear his. He has no mouth, but if he did crack that open, you swear you would have heard him scream. Elandra levels her crossbow and takes deadly aim towards his chest, and from the back, his crossbow flies through the left side of his chest, and his ribcage explodes, popping this radiant pustule around and dousing the unholy earth below him in white and blue radiant flame. As his corpse, the light from his eyes fades, and Sunder and Phoenix, you see his corpse careen through the air down into this crevice and falls lifelessly, thousands of feet remaining before the crevice to hell seals back up, and you are officially out of initiative.
Fuck
my
yes,
God.
dude.
Fuck yes.
I walk over to Alondra. Well done. It's the last hit that always matters.
Yes. It's about time I hit something.
I'm saying. No offense.
She takes a deep breath and kind of like pets her crossbow before putting it back.
Yeah, maybe don't use that anymore.
It was always better with a blade.
I don't know who's controlling you.
Shut up.
Okay. All right, back in.
Krillin runs over to you, Ray. You all right?
Yes. Couldn't let you die before you finish your job. My armor, that is.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he was doing that.
Varric and the three riders of Koth that come in run up and say, "Looks like we missed the party."
Just barely.
It's better
We
that
still
way.
need to fix that portal. My cat is stuck somewhere.
I've got it.
With the heart of Loth. With the heart of Loth. Remember that.
So you guys look at the scrawlings on the ground, and unfortunately, the crevice and the summoning of Nine Flames' spirits back to hell has screwed up the entire thing. The portal is now pulsing a purple and gold, almost like the surface of an undisturbed lake. It's the shimmering purple and gold. There is no destination right now. And some of the materia that is used as foci at these various points in the portal have just been taken with them into the crevice.
We can ask Lillian about it. She might have backups, so to speak.
Oh,
This is the
we should
portal
hurry.
that
I'm
Trevor opened, right?
This is the portal Trevor opened to Ipswich's war room. Yeah.
Someone
Technically,
fetch her
it's
quickly, because
safe.
my Soot is like 1v1ing a Hellcat. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, Varric and the Riders of Koth nod, and they all four of them leave to go and find Lillian. You guys are kind of waiting for the next 5 or so minutes before Lillian comes in quickly with Trevor and a handful of trinkets, of shiny gems and pieces of leather with runes scrabbled on them. Large rocks, small rocks, geodes and gemstones, all sorts of things. And they both get to work to try and bring back, almost like in like the 80s when you had to fiddle with an antenna on top of the television to kind of bring in the channels. They're moving these gemstones and runes down. Trevor is drawing things on the flagstones and on the tables, moving like pottery and cutlery out of the way haphazardly, making sure that they get this back. And it takes them, I would imagine, 20 or so minutes to make sure that it's right. They flicker between, you see gouts of flame coming from the other side every now and again, coming through the portal. You see, frost storms, ice shards, a couple bubbles of acid come in, then pop and drop on the carpet and fizzle it up. It's almost as though they are going through every destination imaginable as Lillian flips through Ipswich's like his atlas almost of locations to try and find exactly where they were last time. And after about 20 or so minutes, they do. And you see sitting on the other side, Soot. In his mouth is the head of a hellcat.
Let's
Fuck
fucking
yeah!
go! Let's go!
Yeah.
Oh my
1v1.
god!
That's dripping this steamy molten rock as it hits the ground. The grass on the Feywild side begins to flick up in flames before it fizzles out for not having enough fuel. A couple of trees have started to slowly catch on fire, and you see Ipswich's war room is torn to shreds. There are huge rakes of claw and bone on the table. The bark from the tree has been peeled off. There are 2 dead fairies next to each tree. It's been quite a time in there. But he drops the head and looks at you and then walks through the portal effortlessly, still kind of dragging behind him like bits of this molten blood. But he looks up at you.
Is he hurt?
Oh yeah, he's quite hurt.
Okay.
He has a couple of his hind legs have this huge rake of claw back there. Some of the celestial stardust that he is composed of is smoking off of him. He doesn't really bleed or anything like that. It's just kind of this strange gas that he's emitting, almost like he's made of a nebula or something like that. It's just like this rake in the sky. But he is covered in these things, and he doesn't seem to show pain. But it looks like if he fought for a little longer, or if the Hellcat had 1 or 2 really good, solid bites or hind leg attacks, he probably would have been toast. But he made it. And he runs up to you after he sees you and kind of rubs against your leg and then collapses.
I'm gonna just retrieve the bag that has the crown and the heart, and then put it back on my person, and I'll let him return to the Fae for now and resummon him later.
Okay.
You are the most badass steed I have ever met.
So it gets up and limps back over to the portal, but he sits outside the portal. He doesn't go back in.
Mentally, I say, what is it?
It seems like he's afraid to leave you.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I will just expend my free find steed charge just to kind of revitalize him, quickly, if I can do that, rather than just
Yeah, sure enough. The sunlight from the outside, which had dimmed when Nine Flames was being ripped back into hell, is back, and some of it bakes this almost like a cat laying in the sun. Some of it bakes into Soot's fur, and he is fueled by the starlight. And not just that, but your energies that kind of put it in the right direction, so that his bones heal, his nebulous skin begins to cauterize over and scar back over.
Okay.
Yeah, he's okay. He's good now.
Ooh. Well, that's what I do.
Trevor and Lillian are exhausted, mentally fried after this 30-minute emergency magical triage, as it were, to try and get back this portal. And they're kind of talking to each other quietly. where they had collapsed over here to make sure that this whole section of the summoning circles have been repaired, and everything is humming as it was. Everything is quite an expert job they've done, and over the time that you guys have been there, it seems like they now know a lot more about this portal and this summoning circle, this magic circle that Ipswich has baked into his school. What do the rest of you guys do?
I think around now, Sunder's kind of realizing what all has just happened. He'll put a hand on Phoenix's shoulder before he walks over to Krillin, Argentum, and Beak. You know, I can't thank you enough.
Oh, it would have been shit if you fell in by yourself.
Trust me, I'm no desire to go down to hell. That smells terrible.
Learned that trick from last time.
Oh,
It's a good trick.
fuck you, dude. I'm gonna
Certainly.
cry.
I think Sunder will kind of
I
walk
don't make
over
the same
to.
mistake twice.
Let's hope you don't. But yeah, I think Sunder will walk over towards Krillin, Argentum, and Beak. He's still kind of in his rage, so his skin is still very much so purple. But he gets over, looks at Krillin. I think I'm gonna have a different choice of weapon from you. I
Krillin
think you can
himself.
make me a maul.
A maul? That's
Aye.
quite different than anything I've seen you use. You know how to use one of those things.
I'm sure I can figure it out.
Krillin looks at you
What
and
could it be?
smiles a little bit. Nods his head. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can make you a maul.
Perfect. And Sunder's skin fades back to blue, and he'll kind of just drop to his knees as he is very, very tired.
Okay.
I can't believe we just did that.
We got lucky.
Certainly did. I'm sorry that I didn't do more.
There's not a whole lot you can do against a pit fiend. Kinda gotta pray to the gods above and hope that you're spared a little bit.
Let's hold a memorial for Marky.
True.
Aye.
They were
Beak's just
instrumental.
been jotting down this whole time. And she shows what she's written to the group, and instead of the usual, normally when she writes down stuff, she writes in a very quick kind of scrawl, like almost like a doctor's note kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like super fast, super like messy, and like basically just chicken scratch. But this time she's written a message in a very formal like handwriting, almost like what she's saying is like has a lot of like intent behind it.
Yeah.
And it reads, "We killed a pit fiend and safeguarded our treasures, and none met the death they are destined for, save for the outsiders. The gods have blessed us." And in like a lower part of it, in all caps, "This is a miracle."
This is amazing.
Honestly, you are right.
Say that
Beak.
again.
This is what it's
Can you-
like to walk on Lolth's web.
She squints her eyes slightly at Zephril saying that, and then shrugs, and then
There are many gods in the world.
I could certainly feel the broken one here tonight.
Silent Beak and Sunder, can you guys make me can you guys make me a religion check?
Sure.
Religion check.
I happen to be an expert at this subject.
Good.
Wow.
good.
I'm not. My intelligence is ass.
I mean, I'm pretty good.
I can
at
loan you
religion.
some.
You know, hey.
Okay.
18.
Thunder, yes, this was a miracle. This was incredibly fortuitous. I mean, had you just and it also it speaks to the strength of the people that you've surrounded yourself with. Silent Beak, you know a lot about death and the processes surrounding death, not just of humanoids or people of the material plane or people of your own race or religious beliefs, but how death is processed, throughout time and space, and what death means as a bargaining chip, as it were. You know that when a devil dies, it is almost impossible to kill them if you don't give them a true death. And that is all that you've kind of learned about that. There is, there's the corporeal death, there's spiritual death, there's death of the mind, there's death of, magics, but for a devil, corporeal death does not mean a true death. This isn't over.
Yeah. Beak acknowledges all that within herself.
Sure.
But doesn't share it with the rest.
Okay. All right. Noted.
I'm an expert on this subject, so I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and that's where it ends.
Let's give everybody a little bit of hope, huh?
I'm not going to share it.
Okay. With all of that, you have your ship still. You have Elandra is still, kind of here and turns to Ray and asks, "I'm going with you, yes?"
So long as that, if that's what you would like, yes.
Yes. But my sisters would have to come too.
They have been somewhat of a liability thus far, no?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, there's time for them to get stronger. If they wish.
If that is something you would allow us.
Please. You are your own people.
I will fetch them. We are to depart soon.
We are to depart soon, I say to the rest.
Well, I would hope so. We're on a bit of a tight schedule.
Probably even tighter. Just in
The
case.
schedule. The fuck's a schedule?
Oh, sorry, schedule.
That was wrong too.
They just kind of look incredulously at you. Phoenix, like, are you fucking serious?
I'm still over the other side, feet away, just fucking lying down, on the pavement inside the circle.
I think hearing Argentum say schedule, Sunder will put their hand on Argentum's shoulder. Don't worry, me and you say it the same. They just don't understand.
I thought it was pronounced schedule.
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 I thought it was pronounced schedule.
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 Varick interjects. I don't think this is paramount to the future that we have together.
We're coping.
Zombika's face palming very visibly.
We're all coping. I nearly died.
Yes,
That was
on
awesome.
that note, Argentum will walk towards Ray and just put their, kind of cup their chin, to be like, you're gonna fucking look at me, motherfucker. I know you can't see, but you're gonna fucking face me. If you ever scare me like that ever again.
Just pushing personal boundaries.
Deep trouble, Zephyr.
I never consented for you to grab my face.
Oh, hush.
I'll let go and just kind of like
away.
lightly push you away. He's like,
I trusted
Sorry.
those around me would not allow me to die. I kind of like
the
gesture
anger
at
of a
me.
writer is almost close to mine. Well, at least your skin didn't change color.
Purple was a good color on you, darling.
Beak sketches out a quick message and shows it to Argentum in response to what they said to Zephyr, saying, never in danger. No deaths preordained.
You'll have to. You will have to get used to it.
You're frustrating.
Without Wall here, only so many of us can take the hits.
That's
I'll
what
be
I'm
one
here
of them.
for. Well, them too.
I would reckon that we will take the most.
Beak quickly
Normally I
writes,
can take it, but that was a devil underneath Asmodeus only.
Yes.
That's true.
Did you see their face after I was done with them?
Yes,
could
I
barely
did.
tell it was a face.
I definitely
Exactly.
saw it.
Varric turns to you, Ray, and says, "Why didn't you take the deal?"
Why were you so quick to fall to desperation?
Because we are desperate.
Accepting the help of devils would only
Have you
lead to
seen-
more you being underneath a different boot.
It's the only option we've had. It's the only good that's come into this world has come through hell. Then I'd welcome it with open arms. I'm not
That's
mad at
not
you.
a
You
good
made the
idea.
ultimate. You ultimately made a choice, and I think that is what matters. You didn't
Remember
freeze
your
your
face,
and there,
Eric?
mouth agape, and I praise you for your decisiveness. But now, we have to find an army, or at least a way to take back Ivbronka.
The devils were not our only option, Varric. I know that a deal like that is tempting, but we have other ways. We gather our forces, because there are forces to be had that are not residents of the hells themselves.
I've
You
seen
need to.
I've seen what a Deva can do. One Deva. But that's all the dads gave us. That's all our prayers gave us.
They're not even supposed to. Look, I understand we are selfish for different reasons. But I truly believe that if we are to survive through this war on our world, it has to be from our own strength. And it will take a lot of courage and a lot of sacrifice to find that in these dark times. But if making a deal with the devils or relying on the devas, either or, you stand to lose eventually. Temporary solutions. And this whip is my responsibility. I will never give it up. I'm sorry.
What's in the bag? What is this trapping the pit fiend kept going on about? What power do you hold that we could use?
It is not to be used.
And why not?
It is to be safe. It is to be safeguarded. And why not? Because I said so.
Derek
Because he
touches
said
the
so.
scar. A choice. Stay or go. Make a choice. But one thing is clear. I will be going wherever that trapping is going. If it must be safeguarded, I will make sure it is. Even from you.
We have no intention to use it. In any way.
Don't think it'd be a good idea anyway.
No, it
And
would
what is
be...
of that scar on your hand? That is new, no? Where did that come from, Argentum? It
A
is of a web. It
consequence.
smacks of Lolth. Tell me where it came from. And I will believe you.
It's a trial of sorts.
Make a deception check.
You got it, buddy.
Or make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Technically true.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a 14?
It's not a lie, it's just not the whole truth.
It's true. He looks at the scar and just stares at your hand. Okay. May I see it more closely? He approaches you.
Well, it is out in the open. I suppose I should find a way to cover it once we hit White's Moraine, but they will reach out their hand and they will roll up their sleeve of their left hand on the blouse so they can see the scarring and veins and everything.
He gets a pretty good look at it. He holds your hand up, kind of traces his fingers along the scars and the veins. This web that has been emblazoned on your wrist and forearm. And it's funny, you noticed it, but it doesn't seem like he does. He puts his finger on your like forearm and then looks at you and then looks back down, and in that time the scarification has grown just by millimeters, very slightly. We'll see if we can't get you help for this.
It's a mark of my hubris. It's alright, I feel fine.
Okay.
Thank you for your concern, though. I appreciate it.
Of course. He kind of gives you your hand back and walks back towards Ray. Krillin, after he's done, sulking, putting his head in his hands and kind of assessing his situation. Well, seems like you guys are going to be going relatively soon, so I'm going to go ahead and move my stuff onto the ship. I'm coming with you.
Oh, everyone's going now.
It's
Just me,
very bad.
Varric,
Right,
and
buddy.
the Drow, apparently. Are you coming? And he looks at Trevor and Lillian, and Lillian's like one good eye looks up at him with terror. Absolutely not. And Trevor goes, "No, I'm not going anywhere now. I'm going to go throw up." And Trevor kind of grabs his mouth, and you hear a very guttural dry heave before he runs off. Books scattering, goblet hitting the floor, and it doesn't seem like he makes it. Like kind of vomits halfway out the door.
I've been there.
Lillian has her head in her hands and says, "It seems like we have our work cut out for us here."
It reminds me of when I looked at that book.
You need to stop licking random things you find in the road.
I
Can I-
say, nah, I'm a procurer of interesting tastes.
Can I ask something of Varric?
Yeah.
Once that sort of like goofiness just like quiets, I say, do you not trust us?
I trust them. And he looks at Argentum. Anyone who helps you murder a superior is bound for life, whether or not they're lying. I owe them more than you can imagine. Do I trust you? Absolutely not. And I'm here to make sure whatever it is in that bag stays on our side. My side.
He's gonna feel like my aura of protection
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
dwindle into my aura of conquest, which is much more impressive. And then I'll
Okay.
just walk away from this.
Is there a
I'm gonna
saving throw
go-
for that?
No, I'm not like imposing it on it. I'm not doing Conqueror's presence. It's just he doesn't get the bonus anymore when he's near me. And I'm
Okay.
gonna go meet up with Delandra and get onto
Ooh.
the ship.
Oh, dude,
Ooh.
you denied my aura. Holy crap. You denied
Damn.
All right, cool. You see a scowl kind of form across his face. His jaw tightens. He clenches, and that scar tissue just kind of remains inert, but the rest of his face is kind of knotted and twisted. Before he, you both kind of turn and part ways, and he goes over to engage Krillin in some light conversation about what they need to put on the ship. What else do you guys do? The portal to Ipswich's office is still open. There's chaos that has happened there. An event occurred on the other side. There is people slowly starting to file into the Great Hall, very, very slowly. Once they've they notice that Trevor left half vomiting. A couple of the students come in, kind of take some notes and put things back to where they belong. Elandra's sisters come in and begin packing up their little camp they have in the back right. Some of the military, the Broncan military as well, come in and write some things and just kind of they're in awe of the still steaming earthen scar that is in the middle of this. The hell's burped in here, and it's reverberant. You smell the sulfur in the air. It's a little warmer in here than it is outside. It's quite the scene, and people are rubbernecking. But what do you guys do?
I'm curious about something. Is that piece of the horn still around?
Make an investigation check.
Got you. I don't know.
4?
Nothing.
It takes you like 20 minutes to find it. You look under the tables. You look under the upturned, flagstones of the ground. You look under broken benches and even dig into the earth. And after a great while, you do find it propped like almost elegantly up against one of the legs of the tables that you had glossed over twice, and then you came back and it's almost black brown ruddiness blended in with the oaken furniture. But yeah, sure enough, you have the what horn is it that you're missing? Is it your right horn?
Left horn, I believe.
Left horn. Okay, you have the left horn of Nine Flame the Glorious still in your hand. It feels heavy. It's probably it looks like it weighs about maybe 2 pounds, but it feels like 10 or 15. More dense than lead. Still kind of like dripping this like yellow red pus almost. But yeah, it's in your hand, and it feels really strong, powerful. There is something obviously otherworldly about this thing, it feels like you shouldn't have it. Like it shouldn't be here. It feels wrong.
Mostly, I think for the time being, Sunder will just put it in his bag as a kind of a trophy of the victory that was just won.
Make a stealth check.
Well, you stealth check. 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
19.
You pocket that thing. It's almost as though nobody even else saw it either. You were the only one that saw it careen off of Nine Flames' head and scatter to the ground. You pick it up, you put it away, like nothing ever happened.
All right. Well, I'm assuming I'll just
Don't
go
forget
back
you have
and-
that.
No, I'm not gonna forget. Trust me. I'll
Okay.
remember that shit.
Cool. All right. After some time, it hits about 1 p.m. What are you guys up to? What do you guys do? There's a lot to prepare. You're about to, if you guys, do you guys choose to go on the ship, I imagine, or you go on foot? You go by, you can try and use the portal. There's a lot of different options.
I'm gonna wait on the ship
Okay.
personally.
Probably take a rest at the ship as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. If that's where
That's
everyone
what
else
we're all
is
doing.
heading, yeah, Argentum will
Okay.
head that way.
Cool. The members of the party, over the next 45 minutes or so, you make your way down to the ship. There are enough bunks on the second deck for everybody, and then some. You have a crew of about 15 people, because after the events here, some of the Broncan military decide to come with you as well, with Varric, and some of the riders of Koth. Krillin is aboard the ship as well. Elandra and her 3 sisters are on the ship as well. And the captain character that you guys had met before has been replaced by Varric after he realized that he was
Shit.
Oh,
fairly
I like that
incompetent.
guy.
Varric is
I like that
now
guy
going
too.
to
Hope he stays
drive
on and
your-
like plays songs for us or something.
pilot your boat.
Captain, our captain.
Don't be nice to that dweeb.
He's
You
not
also
anymore.
let's see, who's the most magically inclined here? Who has the highest spell slot count? That's a fun metric.
Not me.
That's mean.
You actually
Wait,
have more than me.
let's
I
see,
have
like, total?
let me
Yeah, like total. Who has the total
Yeah, let's
highest
see.
total spell slot
Yeah,
count?
tell me how many you got.
probably Beaky.
She's got, let's see, 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. So
Yeah.
11 spell
11.
slots total.
Yeah.
I also have.
I have 2 spell slots. I know 8 spells, but I have 2 spells.
Oh my god.
I have 11 spell slots.
Okay.
It's
so
because it
you-
balances out with my inscriptions and shit.
True.
Phoenix and Beak, when you, after about 5 to 10 minutes of you walking around the ship, you get a good like assessment of what's going on, and how this ship works, and you find Krillin in a small room to the back of the ship. When you guys had been in here before, where that rhythmic thumping had been occurring, inside this small like metal grated, almost like a furnace, as it were, area. There's like pipes, there's boilers, there's magical vents and other accoutrements that are kind of baked and carved into this partially wooden, partially black rock, like partial steel mechanism at the back of the ship. And you see Krillin quizzically staring at this thing that whose door every 30 seconds or so kind of vibrates, ruckles, clangs and bashes against itself in this he's just like staring at it. But yeah, Phoenix, you and Silent Beak find Krillin first.
Beak, should we say something?
Beak looks
I'll,
at
whisper this to Beak beside me.
She looks at Phoenix, then looks at Krillin, and then writes down, "Would rather not."
Okay. We're both standing here then, like, watching.
He doesn't look at you guys, but he strokes his chin and says to you, "You have an idea what the fuck this thing is?"
I think he saw us.
I heard you.
I think he did.
Sorry, what's the question?
He points to this door that keeps flapping open. What do you think this is?
This door?
No, idiot, what's in the door?
What's in the door? I look into the door.
There's a small, like, 5 to 6 slats, like little slits in this iron face. And you look inside. Make an investigation check.
What the fuck? This is where I'll use my magical guidance.
Okay.
Oh my god.
If
You
it's
rolled
if it's
infinity, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, you rolled
Damn,
sideways
bro,
infinity.
crazy.
Damn, bro. So you look inside,
dude.
and you see what looks like
sorry,
a large. Oh, okay, all right.
Sorry, the second one is a 9.
Okay, you look
So
inside
much
these
better.
slabs, and you see, like, wreathed in a very soft, dull red-orange light, this black orb. Almost looks like an egg shape. It's oblong, black. It's almost stone. It's just really smooth surface. Reflects light, catches light a little bit, but it's glowing. And every, when it hits it like pulses a little bit brighter. And when it does pulse like that, you see into what only could be these, like, ethereal chains that are binding this heart, this core, this centroid, whatever it is, this thing inside this furnace, as it were. And it looks like it's, whatever it is trying to shake something off, is trying to open up, is trying to wake up.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I figured you guys would know more than me.
And I have no clue, right? Like, it just doesn't even look like anything I've ever seen before.
Not with a 9.
Yeah.
What about me? Can I take a peek in, or
Yeah,
Sure,
Beak,
go ahead. You can
get
take a
over here.
peek. Take a beak.
take a peek? Is it also
Take a-
investigation?
Peek,
Yeah.
peek, peek.
Unless you'd like to do Arcana, which is it. Oh, okay.
Okay.
They're both the
Let's do it.
same,
That's fine.
so
Okay, cool.
either
All right, sweet. So you look inside, and you kind of put your wing up and get a good look. And you've seen this before. You've seen almost this exact same thing before. This is a bound elemental that is currently very inert, but it is thrashing against its chain. Something very all too familiar with you. This is something that is, you've seen imprisoned and enslaved things before. And this is something that is definitely trying to get out or free itself. And it doesn't look to be a pleasant imprisonment.
Aw, let
she
it out.
she looks at it with, like, sorrowful eyes, and then we'll jot down for Krillin. Elemental seems to be bound. No clue why.
Oh. Okay. Now, usually when they bind elementals like this, it's meant to power something, but why is it inert? Is it
She'll
missing
write
something?
down, perhaps powering the ship? Question mark.
Well, the ship isn't going anywhere. I'm sure it's on.
She shrugs.
Hey, are you on in there?
Yo,
When
you on?
speak to it, its rhythm is interrupted, and instead you hear
Oh yeah,
As
it's turned
though
on
it's-
for sure.
trying to speak to you.
It's definitely turned on. You see, it's moving.
Let me. Krillin has a wicked smile. Let me try something. And he fiddles with the door. There's a couple of latches, a large iron bar that he kind of lifts and removes and then opens it up. And instead of a rhythmic pulsing, there is just a now consistent coming from this thing. And he closes his eyes. Whew. Okay. And he puts his hand in.
Beak doesn't stop him. She just watches this happen.
Okay.
you
Puts his
doing?
hand in.
Light the forge.
I have no idea. And he kind of like lets his mind go as his hand envelops this black stone.
Sick.
And you hear him scream.
This dude really wants to die.
Sick.
And he swallows the scream a little bit. And you see his veins light up as a silver light comes from down his heart, across his chest, down his right hand, and into the elemental. And he lets go. He opens his eyes. A silver light fades from them. And he says, anything happen?
Beak
Doesn't look
will-
like anything's happened.
She'll look at like Phoenix and then back to Krillin and like kind of just shrug a little bit.
She should write down, oh my god, you look so different. You're like Jax now, and your hair is long.
Sorry, what was supposed to happen? Can you tell me, and then I'll let you know if that happened.
I don't know. I figured that I'd be able to do something if I just and he is interrupted by very intelligible common that comes from the elemental.
Holy
A
shit!
low, hushed sound that says, "Feed me magics." That's all I had. The first chain is spoken. Feed me magics. I will cut the water with haste. Okay.
Sorry, what?
Cut the water with what?
Sorry, does that
Haste.
mean you're not on
He
yet?
He said, feed me magics and I will cut the water with haste.
Does that mean you're not on yet?
Dope. Love this guy.
You just hear the rhythm continue.
Feed him some magic, gang.
Is it telling the truth? Won't like bust out and fuck us up, right?
First chain is broken. I gave it all I got.
Beak will write down, should ask the captain about this. However, and then she'll walk toward the elemental
My goat.
and will
that captain.
extend her ringed hand up to it. And I guess she'll like force some kind of magical energy to like flow out toward the
Okay.
elemental.
Mechanically, you're gonna lose one spell slot. Not permanently, but like you're gonna expend a spell slot
Expend
until
one,
you
right.
cast a spell. Yeah.
I'll expend a level 1
Cool.
spell slot then.
That's fantastic. So you do so. What does that look like?
So she reaches out her hand and slowly, like, 1 light moth, 2 light moths, 10 light moths, a bunch of light moths will just, like, extantiate on her palm and then slowly flitter over to the elemental and like, rest on it.
It does so. They melt into the surface of this elemental, and as they do, every pulse, every energy radiation from this object, this thing, displays the chains that bind it, and immediately after you melt the moths into its skin, the chain dissolves. And this thing roars and crackles to life. Everybody outside, including Krillin, make a dexterity saving throw.
No.
Wait, so I have to do it too, or
You don't.
Okay.
Krillin and Phoenix both make a
it's
dexterity
us
saving
two.
throw.
Oh, okay.
It's not you guys.
Somewhere Argentum trips.
Mine is funny. No, Grizz, you're fine. Oh,
Yeah,
Leju,
no.
okay, easy.
I just keep forgetting to
Cool.
add the
I'll roll.
plus.
I'll roll this just for fun on the table for Barrick or for.
Please, fucking.
Krillin.
with a nat 20.
Oh shit! Okay, let's go.
You both do backflips.
Dude.
Damn
Let's go. No, it's funny.
Flip.
You see Silent Beak extend her feathers in, her eyes close, and these moths kind of dance down her wing into and on the skin of this thing. And you guys get you get a good little look inside there before you see almost like this wave, this blast of energy is coming towards you both, and you both duck, and it forms around Beak, kind of paints the entire room in flame, lightly charring some of the wood on the inside. This really brilliant white orange flame, and you guys duck and hit the deck literally before you guys get back up. And it's just people on the inside here that feel it. I mean, some people like hear it or see it on the outside, and you get some hangers on that kind of try and poke their head around the other side of the door, and you hear again in common as this like crackling, creaking, roaring undertone paints and colors all of this creature's sentences.
I am Cinderus, the eternal conflagration, Baron of Chardale of the Plane of Fire,
What the shit?
bound to seaworthy service. A prison. A prison.
And the conflagration goes to a dull roar. The flames just lick the outside of this thing. Krillin says, "A Baron of the Fire Plane? That's... I've only read about it, but that's... Whoever did this to you is... cruel."
Yeah, that would be, yeah. Checks out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Avian, for freeing me. I and all the elementals of Chardale are at your service, should I find my way there again. Many thanks.
The room is filled with this dull crackle.
Beak has been writing down, like, you know, half looking down at her slate, but also looking up at Cinderis and being kind of awed. And she shows him her slate, and it's the same, like, proper writing. And it says, "They have named me Silent Beak. I am as you are, comma, fettered. I pray for your freedom, and hopefully it will happen soon."
You see, almost as though he sees you, but can't read it. His flames lap your board, you know, almost like he's reading it in like a braille or something. His flames lap across, and the chalk that you had put on there with intense heat evaporates, turns to black, and then like it's almost as though he's like waving his hands, whatever tendrils of heat that he flaps out on your board, and he takes it in for a second and says,
I hope the same for you. Bound to no one, free as the birds, flying high, climbing the tree as the flame, consuming what you need to sustain yourself. Freedom begets freedom. I will melt your chains.
She looks like bewildered and gives him a smile and writes down once again in her proper words, "May I come visit you again?" ?
My heat is yours. My flame is yours. It burns eternal. As do I.
Like, Beak gives like a satisfied little chuff of air, and then gives a polite little bow, and then we'll leave the room and look to Phoenix and Krillin, and then write a small message. "He seems nice," it says.
Yeah.
He's got a warm personality.
Oh my god. Get a load of this guy.
God.
and as Silent Beak leaves, the a flaming yawn comes from the inside of this gaping iron hole in the side of the ship, and you hear this like moan almost echo throughout the ship. Braziers that you had seen before, not like black and cold ones, fill the ship with light. You see copper tubing that kind of ran throughout the ship begin to hiss with steam, and the rhythmic thumping and thudding that you had heard before becomes like a little bit more mechanical, a little bit more determined and concerted. You know, this almost like purpose to it, right? Krillin kind of stays behind and says to you, Phoenix, I'm gonna see if I can't talk to it too.
All right, sounds good. I'll leave you to it.
Sure.
I gotta
Sure.
get or something.
He seems fascinated by this. Thanks.
Yeah,
Good luck.
I'll just leave Krillin to his devices.
Before following Phoenix, Beak will write a quick message to Krillin that simply says, "Be nice."
Okay, will do. Thanks. He goes back and starts to study the flame and everything. And as you guys go back and meet the rest of your crew, you pass by Tyrael, who is on board in one of the cabins, flanked by his royal guard, who are dressed a little bit better than some of the other Broncan military. These are some of his like lieutenants and trusted advisors. Some people don't even look like they are military; they just look like they're really close friends of his. And you see, the rest of your crew every now and again passing by, and Varric is on the deck proper, making sure the rigging is set, making sure the sails are where they need to be and patched, as some of them had holes in them, or these big red junk sails. This on quite a gorgeous ship. But what do you guys do as you get ready to set sail down the river?
Probably should just take them some time to sit down and rest for a little bit here.
Yeah.
It's like 30 minutes. I'll take a quick little short, sabbatical.
Okay. You also, he had been boarded on before you guys had engaged Nine Flame, but Bryant is here in an adjacent...
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Bryant is here in an adjacent, bunk to Tyrael, and they've been located quite close to each other. There are some guards waiting as Bryant is kind of like almost in a coma, not looking too good. Tyrael's honestly looking better than Bryant is at this point. And Alondra and her sisters, I know, right? Alondra and her sisters have found their own little home in the back, over by where Cinderis is. They had kind of given you a fun look as you both left, after seeing the inside of the boiler room kind of wreathed in flame. But yeah, everybody is on board who is coming on board, and there is a small squadron left behind of riders of Koth and Broncan militia. You have some of the students that don't necessarily even have leadership at this point, besides Lillian and Trevor, who are maintaining things and making sure that order is kept at the castle. But yeah, what do you all do besides take a rest?
Let's see. Is anyone got anything?
I do.
Let's hear from you guys first.
I do, but go ahead, Vicky.
So after that moment with Cinderis, Beak will actually seek out Argentum.
Oh.
Swag.
And the whole time that she's been walking around the ship, she's been jotting a very long bit of dialogue on her slate. And then, where does Beak find you, Argentum?
Argentum would probably be like up on the main deck, just kind of like helping to get things ready and doing what they can to assist in preparations. You just see them kind of bustling about.
She will walk up and tug at Argentum's shirt as like her default way of getting your attention now.
Oh, hey, Beaky.
She will look at her slate and then look at you and then flip it over and then right on the other side, have a moment, ?
Always for you. What do you need?
She will erase that message, flip it over, and then hand you the slate. And there is a long bit of dialogue that reads in the most proper font you've seen her write yet. So this really comes from the heart. I did not have the time to do so earlier, so I wish to do this now. Thank you for your kindness and hospitality, Argentum. I have found myself in a situation beyond my ken, but you and your group have welcomed me, a complete stranger, with open arms. I must confess that the knowledge of Ivbranka's fall has left me feeling adrift, and I am unsure of how to proceed. With your permission, would you allow me to continue to be a part of your retinue?
Argentum will just.
How can you say no?
I don't literally.
I guess say no after that,
No.
huh? You heartless bastard.
No!
Shut up! You're not
Go!
here.
Go away! I would never say no.
Of course. I sort of assumed you were staying with us anyways. You're more than welcome. And you are welcome for the hospitality, I suppose.
She will
Thank you.
get on
You've
her
done a lot
knees
for us.
and give a deep bow as you say all this.
Oh! Argentum will kneel like in front of her and just like hold out their hand to them.
And she'll grab it and use it to lift herself back up again.
Welcome to, I suppose we are calling ourselves the honored guests.
She kind of like grimaces at the name.
I know. I
What?
know.
What the fuck? Why? Come on, it's fucking sick, dude.
She's back to her, she's back to her shorthand scrawl and says, "Do not think I am worthy of the name honored guest," in quotes.
Oh, you are more than honored, darling.
She shakes her head.
Oh, well, change that mind of yours in time.
She thinks about what you said and writes down, "What honor could a slave have?" Question mark.
Well, you are not a slave among us. Among us, you are a friend. And being your friend is quite the honor indeed.
She doesn't know how to react to what you said, so she just kind of looks down in thought and writes, "I will ponder on this."
I hope you will.
She awkwardly like shuffles slightly and
Aww.
gives a quick bow and then runs away.
Aw.
I love her!
That's adorable.
Oh, she cute. She baby.
Yeah, she's just gonna tour around the boat and look at things and explore, and while everybody
Sure.
else is doing things.
Sure.
I would like to check in on Tyrael, if I may.
Sure. Okay. You go to Tyrael's chamber. It's a chamber. What could be a chamber on this ship? It is a bedroom essentially. Not even captain's quarters at all. This is a captain's quarters is being loaded down with supplies, and all pomp has been removed from this vessel. This is utilitarian. Pretty much an extra long twin bed. Of maybe wool or straw. Material is laid upon it with his sword and the runes still pulsing upon it. And the guard, as soon as he sees you, Argentum, walking down the hall towards him, stands at attention and says to you, "How can I help you, Argentum?"
I just wish to check in on Lord Tyrael.
Of course. He stands aside immediately and gives you a salute. His helmet is obscuring his face, and it seems like somebody you have met or treated with before, but was never really given any sort of name or anything like that. He salutes you and lets you enter. There's another guard that's sitting next to him. He's leaning on his sword with his head down. He looks up at you and kind of straightens up a little bit. Would you like the room, Argentum?
Is this in
No.
the same room that
No, these are separate adjacent rooms.
Okay, so Brian's in a different room.
Yes.
Gotcha. That's where I would be probably.
Okay.
I was just making sure.
How does Tyrael look? Like, is he still passed out? Is he awake? What's his condition like?
He is passed out. He's stable. He's not really even breathing. It looks like he is being kept magically alive. He is, he has a glow about him. It almost looks like he's been prepared for death in some ways. Silent Beak really did pull him back from straight up dying and gave him, a second chance at this stuff. But he is like inert, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Argentum will find a place to like sit down beside where he's laying.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me, my lord. But for what it's worth, thank you for summoning me to Eve Bronca. And I'm sorry for everything that has happened to you. I suppose it's not technically you summoned me, it's everything is such a mess, but we will find a way to retake Eve Bronca. I promise you that. And I'll just reach out and just place their right hand, the unscarred one, just on his arm and just give it like a light squeeze.
You do so, and he feels warm. He doesn't feel like the cold touch of death or anything of that matter. He feels quite alive despite the absence of a rise and fall in his chest. He even does have a slight smile, but he had one since you walked in. The runes on his sword have magic every now and again, almost like a bubbling pot, kind of skittering across the blade. Yeah, it's good that he's got a couple guards here to make sure that nothing terrible happens. But you do feel like he hears you, but he just may not be able to respond.
It is going to be a long road ahead, but we will do everything we can for you. We got many people out of Eve Bronca. They would have ice fields. I don't know where they plan to go. They have Lady Zyra with them, so they're in good hands. Yeah, we'll do everything. And they'll just kind of fall into silence, their hands still on his arm, just in silence.
Okay. The guards kind of give you the time that you need. And you just kind of sit there with Tyrael for the next half hour or so.
Probably, yeah.
Cool. Anybody else want to do anything before you start to set sail? On or off the ship?
What about you, Sunder?
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 I realized I was muted when I was saying that. That's funny.
Anyway.
Hi. But no, Sunder is kind of just... He's found a spot on the ship to kind of take in everything that's happened. He's kind of like looking off into the distance, kind of recalling the things that the Silver Witness had said to him. He's kind of like mumbling to himself about it in a way. It's like audible enough for anybody around to like kind of hear him a little bit, but it's no idea the context if you're listening. And yeah, pretty much all he's really doing, just trying to process everything that's been going on.
You hear a tapping outside the ship, and are you below deck or above deck?
Above deck. He's on the main deck.
Okay.
Kind of just leaned over the banister of the ship.
And almost as though they kind of blended in with the blood red sails of the blood cutter, hopping down, coasting down, rung by rung of these gorgeous canvas, comes Lester. You know, jumping 10 feet by 10 feet, kind of gauging how you're feeling. And then after a little while, he alights himself upon your shoulder and gives a low growl, almost like a cat or something. He's a very strange creature, thus a bloodhawk, but he's still just as good a friend. He nuzzles up against you and screeches a few times.
The Thunder will kind of like pat Lester. It's good to see you, friend. I've been stuck in thought for a little while, so I appreciate you keeping me company.
He looks at you knowingly, even though he does have a little bit of like deadness in his avian eyes, but you've known him for years at this point, and he is a fast companion and quite smart, so he understands what you're going through.
I think Thunder will just continue pondering, figuring out what the hell is going on.
After, about an hour, 90 minutes or so, we will do some ship exploration because there is a lot to discover on this ship. But I just had a large personal thing just happen, so I have to go tend to that. So that is where we're going to call tonight. Right before
it's a real short episode this time, guys.
Yeah, it's a very short episode, actual short episode, not just me gassing it up, but
short but sweet.
No worries.
Short
Good
but sweet.
game, y'all.
It was damn good.
Done. We took care of the pit fiend finally. Almost lost a couple party members, but some quick thinking and quicker rolls. Yeah, made it a lot happier than the last party that came through this area. And we will do. There's this. The ship itself is kind of like a little mini dungeon that is exciting. And I have a lot of cool stuff planned. There's even a map and everything. But we will have to get to that later, just because I have to go to bed, and two, I have to deal with some of this issue that just popped up. But that's what we're called tonight.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty late. But does anybody have anything going on that they want to talk about quickly before we call it a night officially?
Not that I can think of. Go ahead.
Well, me and the boys of my team are going to be doing our very first Pathfinder campaign, and that starts on Sunday night. That'll be streamed on my channel.
Sweet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, this Sunday?
It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, this Sunday.
Okay, awesome.
Sick champ.
Yeah, very excited. I get to play a rogue, finally.
Oh, cool.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else? Got anything cool
yeah,
going
sure.
on?
Me. Sunday morning. And by morning, I mean fucking like 3 a.m. I'll be EST, East Coast time. So midnight Pacific time.
Sure.
I'll be circling the front page on Twitch.tv.
Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
We're playing
Look
some
at you.
Repepo, and then some other stuff afterwards as well.
We love Repo.
Oh, yeah.
Repo's great. We're gonna go playing Repo. Dawn, who made an excellent cheesecake, by the way. I will not hear the
Oh,
end.
her cheesecakes are so
Wait. Which one did you have?
I had was it like a cinnamon what was the cheesecake, Chalitza? a Biscoff cheesecake. It was.
Oh, it was the cookie. Oh yeah, Jalitza brought you back a slice. Yeah.
I had a huge slice. It was fucking great. I've been grazing on it every 3 a.m. For like little bites or two.
Good.
So good.
No, the cookie butter cheesecake fucking it fucks.
It fucks. It's great. Anybody else got anything cool going on they want to talk about?
Not that I can talk about yet.
Hey, okay, that's something in and of itself. On my end, I am currently at Thy Geekdom Con. If you're not at any of the myriad conventions on the East Coast and you are in the greater Philadelphia area, swing by. Come on by. We got a whole bunch of people. Rob McCullum. We got Stephanie Young. We got me. We got Chris Rager. We got what? Huh? Oh, Jade Saxton's here too. A whole bunch of people. Go look it up. It's fantastic. We're having a great time. Tomorrow I'll be there all day, signing autographs, and then Sunday I'll be there about half the day, and then I'm coming back here or coming back to LA, and we'll be back next weekend. We'll be in Anaheim. We'll be local.
Anaheim.
Wait, no. What? Bakersfield. Sorry, Bakersfield. The local.
Yeah, get it right.
And then the next week is Anaheim, but. Nice. Anyway, we're gonna go raid Dawn, who is currently playing Repo, actually.
Very cool.
Until then, let's just say, or until next week, next Friday, we're gonna be back live again. This time it'll be a long, proper session. But until then, let's just say good night, everybody. Okay.
Good night, everybody. Okay.
Everybody okay.